So you want to quit your job, huh? You want to get out early? You want to retire early? You're tired of the soul-sucking corporate world, the toxicity, the grind, the rat race? I got you covered. These are going to be some ways to get your mind thinking about some alternate ways of getting out early, retiring early that maybe you haven't thought of. Maybe some of them you have thought of, but they're going to go from more traditional to increasingly more crazy, more outrageous. All right, let's get right to the list. Number one is it's pretty traditional, but I want you to retire to something. Think about retiring to something rather than just quitting outright and thinking that you have to have this pile of money. You have to get to $3.65 million or something by the time you're some age, and then you're just going to quit and stop working and just sit under a tree or watch TV for the next 20, 30 years, 40 years. That can't be how it works. So think about what you're going to retire to, and maybe there's an alternate career, an alternate path that you can do to still make money, and you can get out of what's bothering you about your current job. So can you get a nursing certificate? Can you go back to school and go back to teaching? Can you get an electrical certificate or something you can do on the side? Can you fix cars? Is there another career you can have, even if it doesn't pay you quite as much as you have now, that you'd rather retire to? And that's a way to plan. I mean, don't just quit now, but give yourself 6 months, a year and a half, and invest in yourself and get an alternate path to retire to. All right, number two on the list is what I'm gonna call house hacking. So this would involve maybe buying a duplex or a multifamily building or house. You live in a one floor, you rent out the other floors to other tenants. Boom, you've just eliminated your biggest expense, which is housing. So now you have someone paying your mortgage, assuming you have a mortgage with this house, someone's paying your mortgage, and that takes a huge expense item out of your budget, and maybe you can retire earlier because of this. Now, if and when you get the house paid off, now you have even extra income. You don't even have a mortgage, you have extra income coming in. So that, paired with your Social Security or whatever government program you have in your country that pays you post-retirement, combined with that, and maybe have your retirement savings distributions, you're set. All right, the third out-of-the-box way to retire early would be just to move out of the country and go somewhere cheaper. So, somewhere cheap and safe, right? And there are many places, if you're watching this from the United States, there are many places that are just as safe or much safer than the U.S. I think we get to thinking, any country you live in, you're familiar with it, and you think, oh, what about safety? I don't know what's going to happen over there. There's uncertainty. Look up the list. Look up the global safety indexes. The U.S. is between the best I could find was like 47 in the world. The worst is 130 in the world. If you've done some traveling yourself, you know that there are many other safe countries, friendly, welcoming countries that have a much lower cost of living than the U.S. does. Moving out of the country, it could even be the best thing that ever happened to you. It could get you stimulated, get you cultured, maybe even pick up a second or third language, and you see a whole different part of the world that you never experienced, a whole different culture that you never would have got to experience. This could be great. Okay, let me run through some parts of the world and some countries that maybe you just to get you thinking, and you can look these up online later if you want. Starting off with Southeast Asia, Vietnam, Malaysia, Thailand. These are all places I see listed on the possible retirement places. They're very low cost living, and they're modern. Look up some of the cities in these countries. Very Western looking in some cases, very modern. So you're not going to lack any conveniences, good health care, good safety. Look those up. Let's talk about Africa. South Africa, Namibia, Botswana, Ghana, all places that people are retiring to. I've personally been to Botswana and South Africa. I mean, Cape Town is listed as one of the most beautiful cities in the world, which I agree with. Botswana is very safe, very low corruption. I'd live there. In Europe, you've got places like Portugal, Georgia, Czech Republic. If you want to stay with Western style culture, architecture, you'll find it here. They're beautiful cities. They're centrally located. Europe is obviously close to Asia, close to Africa, close to North America if you need access there. So check those out. And then, of course, in the Americas, you have Mexico and South America. So, well, Mexico is an obvious choice for people in the U.S. People retire there all the time. There's a lot of expat communities, English-speaking communities, but why don't you learn some Spanish while you're there? Colombia, Costa Rica, Belize are also some things to check out. Belize, I believe the most common language spoken is English. In many of these cases, these countries, the cost of living is between $1,000 and $2,000 a month. So, move out of the country. If you want to retire that bad, move out. All right, the next idea I have for you is to live on a cruise ship. You could retire to a cruise ship. All your meals, lodging is taken care of. You're traveling the world. If you look this up online, I see estimates from like $35,000 to $50,000 per person for the whole year, and everything's taken care of, and you're traveling the world. I don't know the exact details of how this will work, but that's a pretty low-cost way to travel the world and have all your needs taken care of. And I'm sure if you're in some kind of digital work, you could figure out even some ways to make income while you're there. So live on a cruise ship. All right, here we go. Next idea I have for you is just to go back to school and be a full-time student at your local college, university. So, like here in the U.S., if you go to a state school, you can enroll and have a room and board for like between $15,000 and $20,000 per year. So you can live in a dorm, you can get a meal plan, you can go to class and learn. You can be a lifelong learner, get degrees. I mean, guess who cares about degrees? But you can learn, and you can live low cost and maybe even hang out at the college bars. But I don't see this mentioned too much on other retirement lists, but it's an idea I have. I think you could do this very low cost if you wanted to. So be a full-time college student. All right, and the last outrageous idea I have for you to retire early is just to be homeless. I'm serious. You could live out of your car, or preferably like a van, not an RV, which is breaking down all the time and costing you money, but let's say a van, some bigger car where you could live out of. You could still work for a year or two. I'm thinking this would take a couple years, but especially if you're working for like a bigger corporation, a bigger building, oftentimes they'll have a gym, they'll have showers there, so you can shower every day, you can get your workout in. These big corporations, there's always free food available, so you can pick up half of your food maybe at work. You're still getting your income, still socializing, and now you're saving what, at least $2,000 a month, $2,500 a month for lodging and food. That's $30,000 a year you're saving. You do that for 2 or 3 years. 3 years gets you're close to $100,000 in savings. That would get you a good start for your retirement. All right, so any of these ideas get you interested? Did it stimulate your mind? You're welcome. All right. If you liked any of these or have different ideas, especially if you have something different that I forgot to add here, if you have some feedback, please leave a comment. Please like the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.